Before starting this, I just want to say that this video actually contains endgame spoilers for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Recently I've discovered something in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet that absolutely blew my mind. I was reading through the pokedex entries for the new Paradox Pokemon on Bulbapedia when I saw the pokedex entry for Roaring Moon, the new Salamence past form. The Pokemon Violet pokedex entry reads, according to an article in a dubious magazine, this Pokemon has some connection to a phenomenon that occurs in a certain region. Now upon reading to this, I realised how interesting this was, because Roaring Moon, the new Paradox past form for Salamence, heavily resembles Mega Salamence. Mega Salamence is a Mega Evolved Pokemon. Mega Evolution is the phenomenon of the Kalos and Hoenn regions, so there's obviously a connection between Mega Evolution and Paradox Pokemon. In fact, I think that they could possibly be one and the same. Alright, hear me out. What I'm suggesting is that Mega Evolution isn't what we originally thought it was. Originally we assumed that it was merely evolving Pokemon into a stage beyond what was originally thought possible. However, that wouldn't explain why for the most part, the Pokemon when Mega Evolved have small but not drastic changes to them. They are still, very obviously, the exact same species of Pokemon. Well, what if Mega Evolution doesn't evolve Pokemon in the traditional sense? What if it either reverted that Pokemon to an ancient version of itself or advanced to a future version? Alright, so why doesn't Paradox Salamence, Paradox Tyranitar and Paradox Gallade have the exact same designs as their Mega counterparts? Well, there's an explanation for this. Let's look at Charizard and Mewtwo, the only two Pokemon that received two Megas. First, let's look at Mega Charizard Y. Mega Charizard Y has a more primitive and beastly design. It doesn't look as evolved as even the normal Charizard. Now let's look at Charizard X. Charizard X has a sleeker, almost futuristic design to it. It also has gained the Dragon typing, which of course is more powerful and useful than its flying type. Possibly, Charizard slowly evolved over time to gain the Dragon typing, losing its previous weaknesses in the process. Normal Charizard would be weak to 5 of the new future Paradox Pokemon, as most of them would have had the electric typing. The only two of these that aren't electric are the Iron Bundle with the water type and the Iron Thorns with the rock type. It seems that such a world would be dangerous for a Charizard. This would explain why it would lose the flying typing in exchange for Dragon. It would lose its weakness to electric and water, and instead of being 4 times weak to rock, it would only be 2 times weak. Of course, it would end up being weak to 2 of the Paradox Pokemon, but to be fair, that's a lot better than 5. Furthermore, we have Mew and Mewtwo. Mewtwo is an interesting Pokemon as it's man-made, sharing the DNA of Mew and a human. So how would it be possible for a past form of a Mewtwo to exist? A future one of course would be possible, but definitely not a past form. Well, let's have a look at Mega Mewtwo Y. For years people have found it odd that Mewtwo shrinks in size. Surely it would be like Mega Mewtwo X where it just takes the next logical step in evolution. Well, what if, due to Mewtwo being a man-made fusion between Mew and humans, what if Mega Mewtwo Y is a mix of the ancient Mew and ancient people? That would explain why it suddenly shrinks in size to resemble a Mew, yet keeps its more human-like qualities. This idea matches up with Mega Charizard X and Y. X is the future form, and is exclusive to Pokemon Y, where the legendary was Xerneas. Xerneas of course represents life. The future is held with new life that hasn't come to be. Y is the past form, and is exclusive to Pokemon Y, where the legendary is Yveltal. Yveltal represents death. The ancient forms of these Pokemon have long gone extinct, thus being represented by death. For all of the other Mega Evolutions, they only had one Mega form. However, what if they did actually have 2? Just that they weren't discovered yet. Let's look at Roaring Moon and Mega Salamence for example. Roaring Moon is primitive, while Mega Salamence is more developed. It looks almost futuristic. Mega Gallade looks like a knight of olden times. The Iron Valiant looks nearly identical to it, however of course it's now a robot. Mega Tyranitar, looks like an ancient being of a time long gone. Iron Thorns, a robot. Mega Latios and Latias mega evolve into things that look more man-made and resemble jets. Perhaps there's another version of these megas out there that look more primitive. I don't know how likely this is, I just find it interesting that a region so close to Kalos, the region that introduced Mega Evolution, has these paradox Pokemon that share so many similarities with Mega Evolution. It's very clear that they are connected in some way. Anyway, that's it for this mini Pokemon theory. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, it would mean a lot.